On Canterbury television tonight, we've Hopkins next at 7:30, followed by a second look at First Report, which leads us to tonight's evening movie.
What were the forces helping to shape Europe in the Middle Ages from the outside? And among them, what was the part played by Islam?
Even today, the battle between Christianity and Islam is bitter. In medieval times, it was horrific.
The Crusades had a very seamy side, and it's not really surprising that in Arab countries they're often seen as the first wave of Western colonialism.
Triumph of the West looks at history's two most powerful religions, Sunday.
Good evening, welcome to the programme. Olga told me I had to dress up tonight because we're sort of on after Corbyn's fashion, you know, so we have to look sort of spivvy, so we look spivvy. And welcome. And in a packed programme tonight, we feature CTV newsreader Grant Mangan catching pullets with his teeth. Not bullets, pullets, fired at high speed from a deep fryer. So stick around for that, it should be exciting. Speaking of being fired at high speed, we had these, I'm just going to show you what they are. We had these fired at high speed to us today from a correspondent who received them in the post. Now, these are from Telecom. All this stuff is from Telecom. I'll just read it to you. It's for business customers. Dear business customer, how to save on the cost of your business calls? The answer is elementary. They offer a brilliant new way to reward you. All you have to do is spend more than $50 a month on out-of-town calls, and you'll get a discount. Now, to actually promote this service, as our correspondent points out, Telecom have produced this extraordinary publication, Brilliant Deductions. 1 glossy page, 2 glossy pages, 3, 4, look at it, hugely expensive. Now, as they point out, as our correspondent points out, here's the kind of stunning saving you can make. For example, you spend $3,800 on Telecom International calls. You save $30 on the first $2,000 worth and $72 on the remainder. So instead of paying $3,800, you pay, whoopee, $3,698. Isn't that exciting? And all of this gloss and expense to tell you that. Now, not only is that, but you then get a brilliant form to fill in saying how excited you are at this brilliant Telecom offer, and you get a brilliant Telecom envelope to put your brilliant form in to tell Telecom how excited you are about their brilliant Telecom offer. Now, as our correspondent rather angrily points out, and I think with some considerable justification, all this is all very well, and no doubt will mean that companies that have to use, or firms or businesses that have to use the phone a lot for out-of-town calls, will save a little bit of money. But as the correspondent points out, assuming that all this has been sent to every business phone subscriber in the country, it must have cost a small fortune. Money, which, as our correspondent points out again, would probably be better off in users' pockets and passed on as savings to everybody rather than spent in this glossy and somewhat unnecessary way. And it remains for us only to point out that there is, of course, one other alternative to Telecom's deductions, and I hope I'm making myself absolutely clear. So if you are interested in, Olga didn't like that, she's groaning, but if you're interested in checking out that alternative, you've got plenty of time because Telecom's brilliant deductions, you don't have to fill the form in or send it back until the 29th of November. So you've got heaps of time to check out whatever other offers are around. Okay, from phones to groans, or more specifically grunts and groans, we are speaking of weightlifting. Back home in Christchurch after the World Masters champs in Germany, it's my pleasure now to welcome weightlifter extraordinaire George Newton. George, good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you very much for coming in. I do appreciate this. Now, you are living proof, I think, that there is athletic life after a sort of a youthful sporting career, because you were a Commonwealth Games weightlifter, weren't you?
Yes, 3 times Commonwealth Games gold medalist and silver medal.
3 times. Which games were they, for people who have forgotten?
Well, it goes back a long way. Perth, 1962, gold medal. Jamaica, silver medal. Edinburgh, gold medal.
I remember Edinburgh, but I'm afraid that had slipped my memory.
And Christchurch, 1974, gold medal. So it's a long time.
Excellent. So you've now, obviously, from 74, when you were a gold medal. Do you have that gold medal with you, by the way?
Which one?
The Commonwealth Games one.
I've got all of them here.
Yeah, well, let's see them, George. I've never seen a gold medal.
Well, this one here is the first gold medal.
Yes?
This is the Perth, 1962, when it's in...
Hang on, I'll just bite it. Real gold.
This one is real gold. This is the first one, 1962.
Yeah.
The next one is Jamaica, 1966. I got beaten here in the second place.
Right, right.
And that's Jamaica, silver medal. And I got this one here. This is the one in Edinburgh, again gold medal.
Right.
And this one here is the Christchurch Commonwealth Games gold medal.
This is astonishing, George. I have never been in a studio with somebody with so much precious metal.
So why?
And so much commendable effort that's actually gone into getting. Why do you still do it? I mean, you must have been young. Obviously, you were much younger then. How old are you now?
55.
You don't look 55.
Oh, something tells me I'm 55. I don't feel it.
No, you don't look it either. Do you think it's the fact that you've kept on weightlifting that has kept you younger?
No, I think I like to motivate myself. I like to keep going on. I don't like to stop, you know. I feel well, so I'm fit now and kept my body weight down and feeling good. Why shouldn't I train? Why shouldn't I not compete?
Well, no reason, but I mean, I suppose each of these things involves an awful lot of strain and pain as well as gain.
There really is no strain.
No?
It's only basic training. If you know what you're doing, there's no strain. You have to prepare yourself reasonably well, but the strain is no problem at all. The strain is competing on the day. That is the strain, because you have to be good on the day. And like this last competition in Germany, this gold medal here, that was
for the snatch, wasn't it?
This is for the snatch. I equaled the world record in this lift.
Did you? In the 60 kilo class?
And I never knew I would equal the world record at the time, so I had to be good for this, and 10 months of solid prepreration.
10 months. So why?
4 days. Well, I knew that if I'm going to go there, I want to be able to do.
But what I mean is, why are you, as it were, continuing to compete at this level?
Well, there's no level. I would do it at 70 if I had a chance.
Would you?
Oh, yes.
That's great.
Or 90. It doesn't make any difference.
Go for it.
What's the difference between 70 or 20?
Sure. In other words, you like doing it and you're just going to keep on doing it until you stop liking it.
After it's all over.
George, it always seems to me, I mean, I'm not a weightlifter, but I think, like a lot of people, weightlifting is a fascinating thing to watch because so much of it seems to be psychological.
Yes.
But is that a fair comment?
Most of it is in the mind.
Yeah.
Yes, it's psychological in every detail, because if you're not psyched up, you couldn't lift anything. Right now, I couldn't lift anything. But you give me a couple of weeks and I'll be psyched up to do anything. My potential will be 50% greater than right now.
Truly. And what would you do in those 2 weeks that would get you going?
I'll prepare my mind for the event, so I'll lift myself up to that standard.
And does that preparation help you with everyday life?
Oh, yes, yes. Motivation.
In what way?
Well, I've got a lot of problems, and we all have problems in life, and this kind of thing gets me to that level where I can lift myself and say, go and do it, don't do it. Don't let anybody stop you. Go after it, because that's what you have to do. You have to go to work, you have to do these things in life.
Yeah.
And this is how I prepare myself for weightlifting as well.
You came second overall in Heidelberg, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, that was a bit of a story behind it, because I dehydrated straight after the competition. I lost 5 kilos body weight. I didn't realize I was losing weight rapidly. It's like being in this hot studio now when sweating after losing 4 kilos body weight. And of course, I hadn't realized I hadn't drank anything to recover the body weight losses that was already lost. And after the lifting finish, I was taken to hospital. And of course, I was very strong during the competition, but didn't realize that I need more fluid. No one to talk to, no one to help me during that. And I reckon I could have won it easy. It's nothing.
Okay. Well, maybe, will you be back for the next one?
Well, I'm already thinking about it.
Okay. Well, George, when you come back next time, we'll interview you as the winner of the Masters.
Well, that'd be easy, because I've already won that. It's up here.
Okay. Congratulations. All in the mind. George,
yes.
George, keep on pumping iron. And we'll be pumping a few sort of things here, pumping yogurt probably during the break. So you get out there and do the exercises while we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
A great love begins for Ryan O'Neill and Ali McGraw.
You put down anything in pants, but verbal volleyball is not my idea of a relationship.
Love grows from strange beginnings.
How can you see me and still love me?
That's what it's about, Preppy.
If you marry her now, I'll not give you the time of day.
And love triumphs. For a while, Love Story, Saturday at 8 on CTV.
COX'S COX'S Nursery, specialising in bedding plants for over 60 years. This week's super special, majestic giants pansies down to $1.95 a pack or just $7.50 a box lot. Only at COX'S Nurseries, Wychbury Street, Spreydon. Open 7 days.
And now, from the Microfilm and Copy Centre, who bring you large-scale copying for plans and drawings and brilliant high-quality colour copying, comes Superprint, the new high-speed copying service from the Microfilm and Copy Centre. High-quality copying in a flash. Superprint can also turn your master copy into multiple reports and catalogues with colour covers, insert pages and bound to perfection. Superprint, the new high-speed copying service from the Microfilm and Copy Centre. The perfect copier.
Sensational savings now at Dowson's crazy price sale. Men's shoes were up to $49.95, now $29.95, and down as low as $19.95. Aerosport fitness shoes just $29.95, now at Dowson's crazy price sale.
Well, if you're driving down the road with a heavy load, you gotta stop. Have you got what it takes? Well, before you hit the road, remember you've been told, get your brakes checked out and safer brakes. They've got a full workshop, they can do the lot, they'll get your brakes working like brand new. Before you hit the road, remember you've been told, check it out with safer brakes.
Safer Brakes, Fitzgerald Avenue, Durham Street, Main South Road and Restall Street.
For $350, you can enjoy summer sun with this locally made recliner chair. It folds from recliner to chair in just seconds, so it takes up less storage room. UV treated, very durable and hard-wearing, available from Swimjoy products.
This month, I'm offering unbelievable deals on the Lada Samara. But don't forget the other Lada models. Economical sedans and wagons, rugged utilities and off-road vehicles at prices that'll have you laughing all the way to the bank.
Rock Hudson plays a character who loves the fast lane, but things go from bad to worse. You'll definitely need your handkerchiefs for this one.
And I think Dr. Phillips died so that he could live.
Yes, what a complete waste. Mrs. Phillips.
Please don't start a scene.
I'm only trying to tell you that...
Look out! She'll never see again, thanks to you. Write a check for that, Mr. Merrick.
Magnificent Obsession, tonight's movie.
Welcome back. I must say it's an inspiration talking to people like George Newton, the weightlifter, I guess, just before. It's also an embarrassment, isn't it? Because I think most of us, if you're like me, know that we probably should be doing a lot more than we are doing physically and mentally. And people like George serve to remind us of that. Speaking about things we should be doing, now we're on the fashion theme tonight, as you know. We just thought we'd actually show you just how sartorially elegant we are here in the studio. I'd like you to meet our floor manager. Look at this, a vision of loveliness. Eat your heart out, Rachel Hunter. Wasn't that a moving moment? Okay, here we go. Where are we going next? I'll get the right page. That'd help. Come with me now, having left that enchanted world. Come with me now to an enchanted world, a magic kingdom of farewells and reunions. No, not a harbour with the sirens and horns hooting. No, today Pete and I took the trusty Amcam out to the airport looking for points of view, and we certainly found some.
Well, I've been thinking the last few weeks about a TV program that I saw a month or two back, and in this program a bunch of what I would call pseudo-intellectuals were sitting around discussing the causes and effects of violence in society in New Zealand, and it occurred to me that one of the most violent things that we do in the society was never mentioned, and that is that we kill 10,000 children a year in this country. And no one actually mentioned that, which surprised me, because I think the cause and effect of that must have a bearing on people in the general public.
And when you say kill 10,000 children, I presume you're talking about abortion?
Yes, I am talking about abortion. And the other amazing thing, of course, is that they managed to assuage their conscience by calling them all products of conception. They don't actually mention that they're children. And I'm not a product of conception. I was once a child, and I'm jolly glad I was.
But as a child, you must have initially been a product of conception.
Well, I think that television adverts of late have shown us that from a very early age we are fairly carefully and wonderfully made, and that a child is a child from a very early on. And I think that it's an indictment on society, certainly the society I live in, that the most dangerous place for a child to live is in its mother's womb.
Would you accept, though, that a number of people would dispute your claim that this is a killing? They would say that that the the fetus in the womb is not a child in the sense that you are using that term?
Well, I think you'd be pretty hard put to come up qualify that argument, and certainly people do say that. But I still feel that in a society today where a lot of couples have spent thousands going to Romania, for instance, to bring children in, we're still getting rid of at least 10,000 plus children in this society. And I think history is going to show us as a generation that's committed infanticide.
Really? This is your view. So what would you do?
Well, I think that there has to be a better answer. And I'm not going to eulogise and say, I know the answer, because I don't. But I was very disappointed that all of these people that really were qualified to give an opinion discussed all sorts of things and never once got to that subject. And I understand that people have got rights, but I often wonder who stands up for the right of the unborn woman, for instance. And yet everyone says that women have rights, and so they should have, but I feel that someone needs to champion the cause of the unborn.
Oh, excuse me, just while you're going up the escalator, anything on your mind?
Yes, I'm getting ready to go, leave to go to Auckland to go to South America, so I'm feeling quite nervous about saying goodbye to my family.
You're off to South America?
Yes, off to Peru.
Why?
Well, I'm going to work with a missionary group over there, an international missionary group, for about 4 years.
Who are you hoping to save?
Well, I'm going to be working with some of the local Christians in the church, and
yes.
I guess the people we're hoping to save are the ones in the community.
The Peruvians, by and
Yes,
large.
yes, the ones that are that you've seen a lot of poverty, and I've been over there before and seen a lot of the hopelessness in their lives, and I'm hoping that by going out to show love to them in a practical way of nursing, that I might be able to build a bridge to share about my Christian faith with them,
Right.
earning the right to speak to them, not just...
So you'll be nursing first and preaching second? Well, that's
yes.
probably an appropriate transaction, I think, yes.
Yes.
I'm not sure I approve of preaching first and nursing
Right,
second.
I agree, yes, I don't think that's scriptural, actually.
Well, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so when are you off?
Well, I'm going to Auckland today, and then
Yes.
on Monday flying out to
Well, and you've
South
taken all the
America.
quinine tablets and everything?
Oh, well, I haven't actually, but I've had loads of other injections.
You've been sitting on the top of telephone poles to adjust yourself to altitude, high altitudes and things like that?
Well, I haven't been, but I should have been.
You
I've been.
should have been.
Yes, yes.
Well, I think what do you have to? You have to go up to the top of Mount Cook and
About 7,000 feet up.
meditate. Oh, look, you'll be getting altitude sickness up there.
Yes, well, I got a bit sick last time. Not sick, but just sort of felt a bit queasy in that for a couple of days. Not too much problem apart from that.
My mother always says when you go to hot places, boil the water.
Yes, actually, you boil the water everywhere over there or filter it, otherwise it's just revolting and you get sick. So a few adjustments to get used to like that.
Well, take care and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Heavens, what a dapper gentleman.
Not really.
You must be one of the 3 remaining well-to-do people in the world, or in New Zealand.
I wouldn't think so. You could lend me $1.
Certainly, not a problem.
Oh, dear me.
You're from Auckland, are you?
No.
You're a young yuppie.
I'm not an Aucklander. Christchurch man.
I'm awfully sorry about the banging in the
That's right,
background.
no problem.
Now, sir, here we are.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday. Time's rushing away. What's on your mind?
Progress.
Progress?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What, lack of it, or?
Oh, no, I think we're poised for progress.
Poised for progress?
Yeah, Christchurch is.
Somebody got their hand up your back making
No,
you say this?
no. Have a look over there. They're building something. Things are happening, Oh, no, there's a good feeling, I think,
You think so?
I'm not talking politically. I'm just talking sort of, that's what's on my mind at the moment.
Right. Yes, I wish they wouldn't be building it right now. It's a bit noisome, but you think we're on the way up?
Well, I think we're getting ahead. Yeah, I think there's a bit of activity. I think there's things happening, Lots of taxis out there. Japanese tourists walking past here.
Yes. Life is good.
Well, it's spring. I think there's a buzz
So
in the
why
air.
are you leaving town?
I'm being forced out of town. No, I'm not. I've come to pick up my car from the airport.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Go about your bit. Love the hanky.
Well, thanks very much.
Absolutely ripper. I think we've got to go into the posh bit, Pete. We'll find out what's afoot here. Oh, look at this. Look at this, Pete. A posh person. Come on through quickly. Come on.
Welcome to the Corrie Lounge.
Oh, thank you. God, is that where we are?
You're in the Corrie Lounge, yes.
I'd like a whole airplane.
Whole airplane? No, I can't do that for you today, I'm sorry, Jim, but we can give you coffee, tea, something to drink.
Yeah, ripper. I'll have them all. Now, it's, wait a minute, it's Tui Guerrera.
That's right.
You used to do margarine commercials, didn't you?
Margarine.
Star here, Pete.
Margarine, toilet paper, Weetabix.
Toilet paper.
You name it, yes.
You were the
Super value.
Super value. And you were super value too, I might add.
Yes.
And I'm sure you still are.
Yes.
But look, we are not here to actually recall past glories. I'm here to find out what is on your mind.
Issues of the day.
Issues of the day. Or the night.
Nationals reneging on the nuclear-free policy. Can I say that on television?
Of course you can,
Right,
yes.
I'm not very happy about what they're doing at the moment. I think nuclear powered is the same as nuclear armed. We don't need them, we don't want them. May they long stay away from our shores.
Well, this is wonderful.
Yes.
Power-packed stuff.
Yes, it is,
You're the
isn't
first
it?
person who's mentioned this,
Is this
actually.
right?
Yes.
Everyone should be. There's a lady in Westport who's paying $2,500 to have a half-page ad in the press on October the 23rd. She's looking for people to send her funds, I believe. More power to her. She's angry about it as well. And I think there's a lot of people who are quietly angry.
You seriously think that nuclear-powered vessels are as grave a danger as nuclear
I just don't
armed?
trust the Americans. They're neither confirm nor deny theory. It means that they will still hold that true. They're very likely still to be armed, I feel.
So you think that they may be overtly nuclear-powered,
I do.
but covertly nuclear-armed?
Indeed, I do. I
Yes.
think I don't trust the American
Yes.
attitudes to nuclear.
And who knows where it might end? Nuclear arms today and nuclear legs tomorrow.
Yes, well, something like that. I give up on you.
Serious worry, isn't it? Yes.
Well, when you say it like that, no, that's not at all serious.
Now, where do I go and get the string?
Just round that away.
Excellent. Well, I'll dash off and
Anything
give
you
it.
like.
I'll talk to some of your exclusive upmarket clientele.
It's all right then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Of course, we got kicked out at that stage, so we'll have to go back tomorrow, if you understand what I'm saying. We'll be back after the break.
Friends come home in a new series of Just Good Friends, but some things never change.
You were supposed to meet me here last year. You are exactly 12 months late.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, Ben.
Sorry? That's it, is it? Just sorry?
Vince is as reliable as ever.
The moment you mention Notre Dame, everyone tells a quasi-Euclid joke.
I know what you mean, Ben. Enough to give anybody up.
It's a whole new set of circumstances in Just Good Friends, Saturday at 7 on CTV.
Doing it with style.
Ben Rundle, Canterbury Communications Centre. The unit and cordless phone. Reliable, simple to use, 10-number memory, works during power cuts, with a full 12-month warranty. Great value at $2.99, but now only $2.49, while stocks last.
I'm at the Church Corner Fuji Image Plaza. I want to introduce you to this machine here, which looks just like any other photocopier, but in fact it's quite special. This is the Fuji Color Copier. Look at what it can do with your precious photographs while you wait. It reproduces and enlarges in black and white or colour, and it prints colour slides too, all on top quality photographic paper. It could only have come from Fuji. And it's available to you right now at Church Corner Fuji Image Plaza.
Munn's Menswear introduce a special offer that'll have you looking great. Buy any suit from Munn's and get $200 to spend on anything in the store. The latest suit styles from the leaders in men's fashion and the latest in shirts, ties and accessories to the value of $200 is yours free. Or select from Munn's extensive range of latest season leisure wear. The choice is yours. $200 worth of top quality menswear with every suit purchased. Only at Munn's Menswear in Armour Street, where they're open all weekend.
I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but by God, it's nice to browse and to buy at Simla House Antiques, 454 Colombo Street, Sydenham. Phone number 665-322, and I am positive we can do a good deal for you.
I think it's going to rain, Dad.
When called a steward for a roof over your head, they're not just protecting you from the wind and the rain. They're giving you an investment in good looks, quality and craftsmanship that last a lifetime. A roof by Calder Stewart does more than keep the rain out.
Racing fans, for all the latest news, views and information, be sure to catch Horsepower Racing Preview, Fridays at 7 on CTV. Racing personalities give you an inside view of the galloping and harness racing world, and we preview upcoming meetings. The Horsepower Racing Preview Show, Fridays at 7 on CTV.
Welcome back. Let me just quote you from a press release from the Court Theatre. The year is 1954. Two girls carefully plan the murder of the mother of one of them. The trial that ensues becomes world famous. It also takes the lid off a smug provincial town. That town is Christchurch. And that is material from the court used to describe a play that will open this Saturday at the Court Theatre called Daughters of Heaven. Playwright is Michael Ann Foster, and she's with us tonight. Michael Ann, good evening. Now, just before I talk about your play, let me just ask you one question. There appears to be a sudden minor eruption of interest in the Parker Hume murders, because that is what your play is about. And a book has just been written, Parker and Hume, A Lesbian Perspective. I know that a playwright in Wellington is working on a teledrama or a screenplay of the same
film
murders.
script, I
a film
think.
script. You have written a play. Why suddenly this explosion of interest in
I don't really
this
know the
case?
answer to that, Jim.
Well, why did you get interested in it?
It's a great story, and every writer is always on the lookout for a great story. And as soon as I heard about it, I thought, this has all the elements of a marvelous piece of theater, and so I started to write the play. No doubt the idea has been in many people's minds for many years, and perhaps I was just lucky enough to get it hot off the press first.
Right. It's also a sensitive story, though, isn't it?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
you're staging the play here in Christchurch.
Yes.
It involves people in Christchurch. There are relatives and families who will remember those.
I would assume there would be.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
There are still people associated with the case who will be
Well,
alive.
there's certainly still people who remember the case. How close they are to the two girls and the family, I don't know.
Do you think, has anyone suggested to you that you, as, shall we say, quote, an outsider, because quite obviously you weren't born in Christchurch just by the skillful detection of your accent.
Very skillful detective work. I'd like to say I've been in New Zealand almost 20 years.
Right. But do you think, is anyone likely to say to you, you know, what gives you the right to write about us? You know?
Yes, well, I have had that attitude.
Have you?
Yes, someone actually rang me up the other day and said, without introducing herself, "You're not a local, are you?" "No," I said. "Well, it would be very difficult for you to write the play then," she said. And yes, I said, yes, it was difficult. But she really implied through her voice that, you know, I had no business mucking around. And partly because I was an outsider and I couldn't possibly understand the circumstances of the time.
How have you been able to, I mean, the play deals with a strange inner world that the two girls lived in.
That's right.
How have you been able to explore that world?
Well, after finding out all the facts, I've had to use my imagination. I mean, it's a work of fiction. It's not a documentary. It's a drama.
Sure. But do you use the diaries as a source, their diaries, which were presented in court?
I used the diaries as they are part of the play, but only a very small part. But they did give me a really valuable clue to the workings of Pauline's mind.
What was that clue? I mean, how have you constructed that in the play?
Well, it's I'm not really quite sure how to answer that either. What exactly do you want to know?
Well, I'm thinking about the mechanics of the world. I mean, you've talked about that, about you writing it fictitiously, but I know that you based it on...
Well, I don't just have them standing on the stage, you know, talking straight out to the audience. What I've done is dramatize various conflicts. For instance, the conflict that Pauline had with her mother and father. You know, the several long scenes in the play where I've recreated her family life. Now, I don't know whether her family life was really like that or not. You know, I've had to use the facts and use my imagination as a springboard to jump off from there.
But you've also dealt with or developed those Hollywood fantasies that apparently they played.
Oh, yes, yes. The girls were mad keen on James Mason and Mario Lanza, just to name a couple of people. And they created rituals around these people that they called the saints. And that idea really seemed a potent one, so I've got several scenes in the play where they use that to kind of communicate with each other and express their affection and love for each other.
They appear, these two now, to, it's wrong to say that they've sort of become heroines, but the book that recently published, Parker and Hume, A Lesbian Perspective, tended to claim them as symbols of...
Almost like folk heroes.
Precisely,
yeah.
Do you see them in that category?
I don't know. It seems it's very difficult to make a pronouncement on them, and I don't really know. My personal view is that the girls probably didn't think of themselves as lesbians. They didn't probably know what that word meant, and yet they had a very intense and devoted relationship. Well, what is a lesbian? Is loving another woman, but not thinking of yourself as a lesbian. It starts to get into, you know, literary or definitions. I don't really know that they would have gone on loving other women after that particular relationship. I mean, it's been rumored that Juliet, anyway, went on to marry and have a family. I really don't know the answer to that. But whether they'd be happy about becoming lesbian folk heroes, I kind of doubt.
So your play will deal with them in a different way, and for people who are interested in going, it opens at the Court on Saturday night.
That's right, yeah.
Michael Ann, congratulations. I think this is your first play.
No, not at all. It's my 6th play.
Sixth play. I knew that. I just checked to see if you remembered. This is your 6th play.
Yes.
And you'll be there on opening night, and
I
I'm
certainly
sure
will
a number
be.
of other people will be as well. Michael Ann Forster, the author of her 6th play, a play called Daughters of Heaven, which will open at the Court Theatre on Saturday night. And we are now closing on Thursday night. And I'm speaking so slowly that in any moment I'll fall off the stool.